Hi and welcome. We are in part 4 of the subject Finding a House in Korea. And today we will keep discussing about buying a house and we will see more about the process of buying the house. Let's dive in. Great, so I made a table for you to benchmark, and this is in consideration if we are buying the house through an agency. The first step to take is actually setting everything up. So we want to set the budget, the location, our conditions, what we're looking for, the size of the house, etc., etc. Once everything is set, we want to find the agency that we're going to use. You can either use an agency that support English, and we have English support agency list in the course Housing Market, so you can find it there. Or of course you can search online or ask other people for references. Once you find your agency, both you and your agency are going to have market research and to see what type of properties we have in that area, what is available, what is the price, how does the market look like. So that would be the market research. Once we've done that, we're going to visit the houses. So we're going to visit the houses with our agent. And once we visit the houses, they will explain everything about the house. When you visit the house, I recommend to have a list of questions that you want to know, not only about the house itself, but also about the buildings or any rules and regulations. And then later on, you can compare all the information in the best way. We finished to visit the house and decided on the house we want to buy. Now we have to prepare the documents. The documents would change based on your visa type and the house that you get, if you get a loan or not. But basically, you will need a proof of funding. You will need to have approval documents that you will get from your local office, etc., etc. And again, the agent will walk you through the process and walk you through the documents that you need so you can prepare it easily. Next up, we will close the deal and we will have a down payment. Usually the down payment for the house is around 10% of the value. Once we did that, we will actually submit all the documents and get the documentation through. And that is done by the agent. After everything went through and approved, we will have the rest of the payment and the handover of basically the house. After that, once we own the house, we're going to register the property, and we're going to register the property in our local office. And finally, we have a house, and now all we have to do is to apply for our utilities. So electricity and gas and water, we need to apply for that. Some of them we can transfer automatically, and some of them we will have to make new contracts. And this is the process, and this is what we need to go through if we want to buy a house. Not that simple, but not that complicated. And if you have an agency to help you, everything will be much smoother and easier. I would also like to share with you a few tips when it comes to buying a house. The first thing that I would like to mention is to think carefully what kind of property you want, what kind of features you want it to have, what is the location that you want, etc. Another thing that is important is the agency. Agencies can make the process quite easy and smooth, so choosing the right agent is very important. Another thing that we want to check is the location, taxes, and benefits. There are some benefits that, for example, exist in Seoul but doesn't exist in other cities, or the contrary. So it can be benefits for loans, or it can be less taxes. Those kind of things you want to check in advance to see the area that you will live in. Also, we want to be prepared with the papers and documentations. So my tip is, when you're starting the process, make sure all the documentations that you need and you can prepare it in advance. In that case, if there is any problem, you can solve it quite fast. Now, if you're taking a loan, make sure you visit few banks and you compare the different conditions that they have. And in that way, you can get the best deal for you. Also, part of the preparations is to ask about the other fees. So you can ask how much is the management fees, historical payment on electricity and gas, so you will know not only the house payments, but actually how much you will need to pay every month. And this is it. Those were the tips from me to you. And now we know the process of buying a house and what we need to prepare and what we need to look for. And all we need to know now is how to find those houses. And in the next part, in part 5, we will cover the search options that we have. So I'll see you in part 5.